Hello, everyone. I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy, but you know that this channel's all about making journals to tell ancestral stories. And the thing is, I've been watching Gayle and a few others who've been making ephemera to add on to a rather plain journaling card. Um, yeah, and this is what they've been doing. I mean, it's totally amazing to me, and I'm going to try doing it. So we're going to take little teeny bits of tea dyed, well, in my case, coffee dyed paper, and it's perfectly fine that they're irregular. And we'll make a nice little pile of them, and I'm going to try and do this in about 20 minutes, see what we can come up with. All right. Boy, I've been working so hard in cleaning up my craft room. They can't find anything now. All right. Maybe I don't like that this one side is straight, so I'm going to make it even smaller. And since I'm not as experienced as the other gals are, I think I'll only do these few. Okay. All right. Now, what you do is you just start putting random stuff down here and there and along the way. So I will put one, well, we've got a straight edge there again. Well, I'll just stick one there and here and here. And it looks messy, I know, but they do it. And I'm like, why can't I figure out how to do this stuff? All right. Let's see what else I have in my basket of littly things. Okay, so we'll make little strips. If I tear it going backwards, look at the difference. We don't have any white exposed. If I tear it coming forward, we have the white inside part of the paper exposed. It's okay because we don't know what we're going to be using these in. I'm going to tear it backwards. Did you know that about paper? That's what I get for listening to other people. They do really good things. All right, and teach me many things. And I will give the links to my inspiration YouTube channels, the ones that are most inspiring. There's Gayle and Rachel of Roxy Creations. I'll put this here, here. Well, I like that longer one. Okay. Now what else have we got that might be interessante? Ooh, okay. You're just supposed to put little bits. You know, this wasn't anything I was going to make a whole journaling card out of. So we shall see. I don't know. I may never use these, but I'm learning. I'm learning. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. That might be it. Okay, let's give that one. Now they all should have 2 or 3, except this poor guy doesn't. Okay, and you're not supposed to worry about the order in which they're placed and stuff like that. Okay, let's add some different colors. These are all colors that I would likely be using. I think before that, though, I'm going to take some of my, some of my cheesecloth, because I have a lot of that, little snippets that I trim off. Let me get my little baby scissors. I love these Tim Holtz things. Okay, there's one. There's another one. And Gayle just stapled these, which surprised me. See if I have more. Oh, great. I may have to actually. All right, well, instead of that, let's use some something from an old pattern. So we can still see through and it will look interesting. I don't know how interesting this is looking yet, but I'm experimenting. Okay. Oh, there's some more cheesecloth, but I think it might be actually too stringy. I don't know. I think I prefer the cheesecloth to the tissue paper, but it's all right. Gayle stapled these, and then what she did was put a little flower to cover up the staple, which I thought was intriguing. We'll put that there. This guy needs something else, and I neglected him, so let's see what we can come up with for him. Okay, now he's at least got two things in there. They're supposed to be very irregular and odd shaped and stuff like that. We give this one a pop of color right here. I don't know. Now, let's try this. Let me get my stapler. Where the heck is that? There it is. I have the little Tim Holtz stapler, and the staples are super, super tiny. I don't even remember how to open this baby anymore. But basically, we pick up and we staple. See how tiny that staple actually is? Okay. Pick up carefully and staple everything. And you get to figure out what's going to catch everything in the staple. Here's another one. Catch this. And we're going to staple. Catch this. Whoop. Not as easy as they make it look, but I'm doing it. All right, catch this. And these little things, these little bits of ephemera, are good for decorating your journals. That one's only got one or two things. Let's see if we can find something else for him. Okay. All right. I mean, you got to have at least two or three things on it there. Come on, Myrt. There we go. Now we're getting to the ones that have, instead of cheesecloth, a little bit of that tissue paper. All right. So I think I prefer the cheesecloth. And if I wanted it to be fancier, I could use some of the little bits of this kind of glistening ribbon that I have. Might look pretty. I just don't I have the whole ribbon roll, but I don't have the little cutoffs. So this is what we're doing, but what if where could we put this? May be too big for these guys. I don't know. They're not decorated. They need to have a flower or a smaller, little itty bitty smaller bug or something along that line. I mean, I could have put strips of this. Sorry, silk. Let me bring that on camera so you can see it. I could have done that. Well, let's just do it. Come on, Myrt. This is possible. It's still on camera. So Mr. Myrt just installed for me a on the wall monitor because I tend to spread out a lot when I'm making things. In case you hadn't noticed, I make a mess. If you lived here, you'd know. All right, we'll put those two there and something there. Okay, and there we go. And apparently these are going to be somewhat similar. Let's make this really thin. Okay. This guy needs some help, doesn't he? This little guy. So we'll give him a little something here. All right. I'm trying not to have totally straight edges. And in fact, if I don't like the straight edge that's there, I can always trim it before I put it in whatever book I'm working on. Okay, I found another piece of that. And let's see what else we have. Here's a little green tissue paper. Put a little teeny bit of it on there. And maybe one more thing. What have we got? Oh, there is. It's just amazing what you could do. Depends on your color scheme and what you're planning. But the point of this is to make them of all different colors based on the stuff you would normally throw away. And this is stuff I would normally throw away. The bits are so little that I can't make a journal out of it. All right, now we're going to pick these up and staple them. So I tend to work in warm tones, but not oranges. I also like the cool tones of blue, aqua, lavender. And that one needs a little more stuff. Let's see what we can do. I'm not quite as adept at this as the pros that have like 25,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. Okay. But that's okay. I'm doing this so that I can get better at making those journals to tell those ancestor stories. All right, so if we made these, and this was what we were trying to switch up and make look intriguing, I may decide to take some of the rough edges off or the sharp edges. It could look interesting. You see how doing this kind of, in fact, I like that. Let me get a little bit of my glue and we'll actually put this on here. So we are making ephemera. I do not yet have the little, I have a little white blossom that I can put on. Let me put the glue on the back of this. Whoops. This is doable, Myrt. Come on. There we go. But imagine if it did have a little blossom right there to cover the staple. Or if you're doing something where you want it to look industrial, you might leave that staple there. Who knows? Anyway, this is old Myrt here. I've made these little teeny bits of ephemera. I'm going to have to keep them in another container. But you get the idea that it can pretty much sharpen up the look of a journaling card. It's all good. Nothing left to say, but happy family tree climbing, everyone, and journaling. That's a wrap.